But other people have asked me before. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. And so the people who asked, they didn't get what they were asking for.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious. It was unclear what the status of engagement was.
Do you know, it's fascinating that you say that, because I've heard at least one person say that if you ask that question, if you find yourself having to ask that question, then
essentially there's a problem.
Then basically you've lost.
I disagree with you.
The fundamentals are weak at that point.
Somehow I knew you were going to make that connection when you started.
But
I mean, I often would ask, "What do you want?" And I think that when we ask, "What are we?" we sort of figured it already, right? Figured it out.
So then why are
I
you
just
asking?
want to ask you.
For confirmation.
But if you know, why are you asking?
I mean, we are in a litigious society. We want it on record.
It's a democracy, isn't it?
See, the what are we question?
Yeah.
I mean, let's be frank here.
Yeah.
Some of the boys actually find nice ways into a lady's heart without saying anything. So a lot of the time, the question "What are we?" is to actually find out from the man, not when he's actually said, "Oh, I want to have a relationship with you" or whatever. Sometimes the lady realizes that we're getting into, areas where you should be telling me something.
You need further permission.
But you are pretending that there's nothing happening. So I need further and better particulars.
So when you say pretending that there's nothing happening, but what if there's nothing happening?
Okay, so that's why she says, "What are we?"
Yeah.
So when you say, "Oh, we are friends," then she knows her position. But if you say, "Oh, but you're my girlfriend," then she knows that, okay, so this man sees me as his girlfriend.
Okay, why is it up to the man to determine what they are?
You are with somebody. What is your perception about what you have?
What do you mean what I have? She also has something.
Oh,
What's
no,
her
no. So
perception
she
about
knows what she has. She wants to.
Then she should
No,
tell,
she wants
then
to find out.
She should say it.
Okay, this debate will
She
continue.
should
The debate must
announce it.
continue, But
Yeah.
why don't you
Let's
also ask
carry
her?
it forward.
A
Do
good
drive
question.
safe
Why don't you
Why
also ask
do
her?
men not tend to ask women?
Exactly.
Mamavi, what are we?
We are doing the news review in a moment. But first, the Drive Safe campaign.
Our Drive Safe campaign, of course, is brought to us by the Multimedia Group and Joy News. And Toyota Ghana Company Limited is supporting the Drive Safe campaign. Toyota's superior quality and Imperial General Assurance, solid protection. Do not depend on other drivers. Be considerate of others, but look out for yourself. Do not assume other drivers or another driver is going to move out of the way or allow you to merge. Assume that drivers will run through red lights or stop signs and be prepared to react. Also plan your movements, anticipating the worst case scenario. That's your Drive Safe tip this morning.
Well, let's learn how to say it right. Brought to us by Kingdom Books. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks.
Something must be done.
You say either, I say either.
This will be a quick one. Here on Say It Right, we often talk about redundant phrases. And this is another common one. Still remain. Now, I know it almost sounds right, but it's not. You see, if something remains, it is still in its state. So there's no need to add the word still when you say remain. Now we know how to say it right.
You must be categorical.
Oh boy,
You haven't
this
said
debate
it.
would be
You
nice.
haven't said it expressly.
Yeah.
Anyway, the news review is up now, brought to you by Milo Energy to go further and Enterprise Life's Family Income Security Plan. Enterprise, your advantage.
Mamavi. Now, let me start with the...
Raymond.
Yes, yeah.
Regularize. What are we?
The Chronicle. The Chronicle has... Winston, am I permitted to bring in the biblical incantation?
As always.
Yes. Proverbs 10:9. People with integrity walk safely, but those who follow crooked path will slip and fall. That is what it says here. Those who are unsure of what they are, they'll slip and fall. Anyway, now, first one here. Office of the President stickers on vehicles are fake. Jubilee House. So you know that video, right? Where it appears that a gentleman that's not who was actually driving the car, apparently having office of the president sticker, who's not part of the thousands of people who work at the office of the president. So, or not officially giving the sticker. So the man happened to have been arrested. He was not happy with the arrest and all of that. And Sunyani Airport to be opened Monday. That's very good news. Now, still staying in Sunyani, Goyle caught cheating consumers. That's the story there. And okay, so if you want to break it down, the story is to do with NPA doing some random monitoring at the Goyle station near Usbet Hotel in Sunyani. There are other two other fuel stations too: Frames Oil at Penkwase and Engine. They've been locked up, according to the story written by Maxwell Ofori, by the regulator, the NPA. This is because they were dispensing fuel in less than the quantity that the consumer pays for. Giving specific details in a statement that Goyle itself issued, they said in the case of Frames Oil, when they went there, all the 7 dispensing units functioning at the time of the visit were under delivering. So when you buy 500 cedi, they'll give you like 450 or 400. Yes. The regulator said Goyle and Engine had 2 out of the 4 of their nozzles under delivering respectively. Yes. However, the NPA team observed that some of the nozzles of all these fuel stations were dispensing the fuel products less than what the consumers had paid for. This random exercise was led by a team Kojo Odano Apia and Eunice Budunyako. That's the regional manager and also the consumer services manager in that particular region. So
Isn't
that's
interesting that the headline says Goyle rather than
they
Frames.
selected instead of the
or
perhaps they
Frames
selected the one with a
or
bigger
the
name.
other one, Engine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, is it really cheating or is it a calibration problem? I mean, which is it? Because cheating is a very categorical accusation, isn't it?
Yeah.
It may well be that it's a matter of calibration.
Which is up to standard. Calibrations have standards specifically.
Exactly.
The fuel station cannot run it differently.
Yeah.
My only difficulty here is, you see, sometimes we can separate the two. The merchandise may not be necessarily the people who own the fuel station.
Exactly.
That's an important point. So I can go to, let's say, Goyle or Lineage station and use their merchandise, the supplier, use their, but they may not be controlling the day-to-day activities on the ground. Regardless of what happens, at least the people who are running the institutions ought to fix these problems, and the NPA ought to be sure that they are running according to the standards that we want to deliver.
Yeah.
So that there is no, in these times where men and women, hard-working men and women are struggling to get money to buy fuel. Any small, the way people are shaking, what they call it, pumps.
Using
the tubes.
I'm told that the fuel stations.
Yes.
I mean, that particular Goyle fuel station is working.
Oh, really?
Yes. I'm also told that there was a bit of renovation going on at the time.
Oh, okay.
And that could probably
Be there.
been the
Okay.
issue.
All right.
But that's what the Chronicle says this one. Let's get into other papers.
Yes, Mamavi.
The Ghanaian Times newspaper on the front page, 164 galamseyers grabbed. They include foreigners, 5 female sex workers. Comes with a picture of George Mreku Duka, a deputy Lands Natural Resources Minister. But I think that at this point, on behalf of the people, we want to tell the ministry that we're tired of grabbing. We need prosecution.
But the sex workers too.
They were
Why?
providing them with their services. That's illegal, actually, in Ghana. So maybe not related to galamsey.
Solicitation is illegal.
Mamavi,
Solicitation is illegal.
look,
Not the
I don't know what
actual
I've
work.
told you. I know what I've told you this story. That a paramount chief was being installed. Now, they invited these galamseyers, and when they came there,
That's what?
they invited miners. Actually.
Oh, okay.
When they got there, they started by saying that they're unhappy that the invitation came late. And that when they even came, they didn't get a place to sit. But that notwithstanding, they have brought some money and brought gold.
Oh, okay.
And they added Nana. They
Oh.
control the local economy.
Yeah, that's true.
They control the local economy. And that's why we've all sat here and said that the fight cannot be won from Accra.
Or in press conferences.
Or in press
Or in
conferences.
fora.
But you know,
You must actually go down to the community because the community harbor these persons. Go to Wasamenfi. There are Chinatowns all over.
But significantly,
Chinatown.
these
In Ghana.
persons,
In Ghana.
this latest arrest, they include Nigerians. There are people from Cote d'Ivoire, Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso.
Yeah.
So it's not just Chinese persons. We have a lot
Are we
of
arresting
foreigners.
the likes of Aisha One, the kingpins? I mean, see, listen, it's okay to arrest some people in the pit, but do we know that these people, they don't have what it takes to actually buy the excavators or bring them in or remove trackers? Are we arresting the right people? And far more than just that, I just heard the very gentleman Bisu say that indeed they bought the drones and all the other things. Why were they not deployed? Because obviously, if they were deployed, we'd have seen whatever happened across the country. Except we pretended that we did not know them.
There's something that bothers me. In all these arrests, I hear no details of seized gold. When you go and arrest people illegally mining gold, where's the gold?
Well, let's get to the daily graphic for this morning. NDC outlines roadmap for internal elections. Anti-Galamsey force arrest 164. Suspects include foreigners. Government creates 5.3 million jobs. That's according to the employment minister. And Ignatius Bafwewa says the government has created 5.3 million jobs between 2017 and 2021. Now, he said the figure was arrived at after an analysis of data assembled by the ministry from ministries, departments, and agencies. I'm not sure that, Mr. Bafwewa has been reading the reports from the Ghana Statistical Service.
Obviously not.
Anyway,
But why? It's not in this country that we're told that in the agri sector we have created jobs, and the jobs were because we gave people subsidies, and we hope that we could people with what can.
Thank you. I mean, that particular agri sector jobs.
The
said that-
estimated jobs.
Yeah, the estimated jobs. They said that
Seriously.
because we had cultivated
Yeah.
this number of hectares, and every hectare is expected to, employ 4 persons.
Yeah.
If you do the calculations, it is 745,000 jobs in a year.
Yeah. And there's up to now we don't have the list of
No,
people
so
on
we
that
were doing we're estimating that
Yeah.
because people said they cultivated that, and I give the example. I cultivated 20 acres. That's about 5 hectares.
Brilliant.
I did not employ 20 persons to work on the farm. In fact, I also worked on the farm myself. Anyway, the big one here is that the Auditor General retrieves 2.2 billion Ghana cedis, and it represents disallowances from 2017 to 2020. Ghana will overcome economic challenges. That's the IMF rep assuring all of us. And the back page says gate crashing Black Stars World Cup party is a star profile on Tariq Lamptey. But if you just want a bit of details about the Auditor General, it says that they've been able to retrieve some 2.2 billion from disallowances between 2017 and 2020, and the amount was out of the expected 4 billion Ghana cedis in disallowances.
Okay, can we go online now? The online review is brought to us by Zenith Bank in your best interest. Goyle Good Energy, Eden Heights, luxury has a new destination, and Bigo Drink. Aisha Huang was left off the hook 3 times under NDC. That's according to Charles Bisu. So they were just copying their predecessors.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, okay.
It happened before, so it's okay with it.
If they were just copying the NDC, then we are okay. We are happy. We are pleased.
Certainly, it stops all Galamsey in the country.
Yeah. They have done well. They have done well.
The template
they had no choice but to do as badly as the people they said they were better than. I mean, what else can they do? We thank them. Okay, citynewsroom.com. Businessmen behind Galamsey, not politicians. That's the Elembele DCE saying so. Please, you are all behind it. Okay, on CNN this morning, 440 bodies found in unmarked graves, according to the Ukrainian authorities. Really? It's got that bad? 440. Has Ukraine reported 440 missing people? Anyway, Buckingham Palace reveals that the king and senior royals will guard the Queen's coffin on Friday. And of course, the ceremony continues until the final burial. Okay, let's do the BBC News.